Welcome to my 5-minute reviews, and today I'm going to be doing the original 3DS. Alright, so the first category is user friendliness, and I rank it a 4, and the only reason I rank it a 4 is because the 3D is a little bit weird on the original one. Like if you move out of place or your alignment to the screen gets off, it won't display the 3D, and in fact it'll display two images. It'll be copies of each other. But everything else is really easy, and the menu is very colorful. It's not very complicated. The instructions and the setup is very easy, so it still gets a 4 out of 5. But the 3D on the original one puts it down a bit because it actually did cause a lot of problems for first-time buyers and users. Alright, so the next category is going to be its variety in games. In the beginning of the console's life, it was like a 3 because it only had things like Pilot Wings, Super Street Fighter 4, which were ports, and like most of the variety in the games were very low, but now it up to a 4 with things like Etrian Odyssey, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Super Mario Land. Yeah, so it started off rough and the sales weren't doing so well, but as it branched out into more different games and got a broader audience, it went back up to a 4 out of 5. Alright, so the next category is going to be its appeal, or like outward appearance. For the original 3DS, it's very glossy both in the inside and the outside, so it's reflective and it does collect fingerprints pretty easily. And for when it came out, which was 2011, I consider it modern looking, so that was a plus. It's very glossy still in the inside. It's a fingerprint magnet like everyone else says, but in terms of overall appeal, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Alright, for this next category, we're going to get deep, up close, and personal with the 3DS because we're going to be going into its specs. So, its specs are underwhelming to say the least, especially when you compare it to something like the PS Vita, because its resolutions are natively low. Its top screen resolution is 800 by 240, which isn't the best screen quality, and in fact for when it released it wasn't very good, and its second screen quality is even worse for 320 by 240, and it's an LCD screen type, which is not like the OLED for the Sony Vita, and its CPU and GPU speeds are very inferior to the PS Vita. So when you're choosing between the two, or if you were in that dilemma, like when the two first came out, you had to pick whether you were into the gameplay or into the graphics, basically. Alright, so the last part of the review is going to be the entertainment value that the 3DS gives. And this is purely subjective and it's up to personal preference, but I give this a 5 because I've always been a Nintendo fanboy and I've loved what they had to offer as a game industry. And yeah, it's basically all about fun. It's not about how powerful the console is or how real the games look. It's basically how you view your games and how it affects you, and it's all up to personal preference. Whether you like graphics or gameplay, you have to pick what is going to please you the most or what you prefer the most. And for me, I prefer gameplay over graphics. Graphics are nice, but gameplay is more important to me for me to get immersed into the game. So for overall entertainment value of what the Nintendo 3DS has given to me, I would give it a 5 out of 5, and that's purely subjective. So if you guys have a different opinion on any of the other factors, please comment below, and I hope you enjoyed this 5-minute review of the 3DS.